What's up, pumpers? Jerome here with another TBC video. Today we're going to be talking about why you absolutely need to be doing the Karazhan Direbrew event in TBC. This is the new BREWFEST event from September 20th through October 4th, and it offers a lot of best in slot pieces that you don't want to miss out on. If you like the video, make sure to toss the video a like and subscribe so that more content like this can keep being created. So to recap, there is a BREWFEST event going on in WoW right now, and it's going on from September 20th through October 4th. It's sort of like an Oktoberfest in real life. Got all sorts of fun mini games and novelty prizes, which you have to earn tickets to get. But what we're really interested in is the Direbrew boss in Blackrock Depths. This boss, Karazhan Direbrew, drops all sorts of BIS items and some really useful loot that you'll definitely want to get your hands on. So I'm going to tell you how to get to this boss and what sort of items you can get from him and why you need to be killing him as soon as possible. Karazhan Direbrew is a boss in Blackrock Depths. You get to him by going into Blackrock Depths and pulling the lever on the right side. You'll notice this new lever on the right. You press the lever and you'll get magically transported to the Grim Guzzler via a drill. So now you'll be in the Grim Guzzler and there is a brew spy on the left. If you talk to this spy, he'll give you a quest to insult Karazhan Direbrew. And once you insult Karazhan Direbrew is going to pop off. He's going to have a very in-depth fight, which you'll definitely want at least 4 to 5 people for. He's going to do all sorts of interesting things. He has a whirlwind mechanic, which basically you have to get away from him, sort of like an old Hillsbrad boss, for example. He's got these drills that pop out of the ground and can cause havoc. He has all sorts of ads that spawn, including a really fun ad. A Brew Maiden ad that throws beer glasses into your inventory, and if you don't drink them, then the next time she throws one, she basically sheeps you with a giant beer head, which is really funny. And so, yeah, a pretty fun fight. You want to have 4 to 5 people for it, but here's the kicker, okay? So basically, you can have a group of 4 people and then cycle in any alt character, like a level 65 character, and this character can have the daily quest. So basically every single character in your group has a daily quest cooldown for this quest, but each of them has a separate quest. Basically you can each start the quest yourself. So you could have 20 or 30 different alts in your guild, cycle in and help one character or a couple characters get all the items you need, like the mounts, and of course these incredibly BIS items I'm going to talk about in a minute. So yeah, just the best way to do this by far, in my opinion, would be use a Direbrew remote, which we'll talk about in a minute, to teleport maybe 10 or 15 people, all these alts, into BRD, then log the characters out, and then from there you can cycle in one at a time with the rest of your group, and that way you can do 20 or 30, 40 even attempts in one day on a set amount of characters and get all the items you want. So let's get to the drops. What are you going to get from Karazhan Direbrew, and why is this so relevant? So first of all, Karazhan Direbrew has a crazy item. It's the Direbrew remote, and this item is busted because it is essentially a second Hearthstone. So what it does is it allows you to teleport to the Grim Guzzler in using the drill feature. So basically you activate it sort of like a Hearthstone. It will put down like a physical sort of portal drill that you can click, and now you're transported to the Grim Guzzler. So that's awesome to begin with, but it works as a second Hearthstone because you can Hearth just like you would if you went into like RFC or Stockades and then dropped your party. You can do that G-Hearth feature. So basically, if your Hearth is on CD, all you got to do is use the Direbrew remote, and now you have a second Hearth because you can just leave the party and now you're auto teleported to, for example, Shatrath, which is awesome. So now you have a second Hearthstone. Really broken. This is something every player should be farming right now. Probably one of the strongest items I've seen in WoW so far. In TBC and Classic, this thing is going to help your mobility so much. You're going to feel like a shaman moving around the game world, or a mage. You just feel awesome. It's going to be dope. I'm getting one as soon as I can, trying to farm it right now. Next up, we have the Direbrew Hops. This is an unequivocal BIS for most healers. This is 84 healing power, 297 activatable, 20 seconds for every 2 minutes. That's huge. It's BIS for Resto Druids for sure. A lot of other classes, most likely. For example, Resto Shaman, Priest, Paladin may want to look into this as well. The best part is it definitely 100% stacks with Essence of Martyr, so you can activate both at the same time for massive healing power. This means Resto Druids, even during Phase 2, may be pushing near 3,000 healing power when they activate both trinkets. That is crazy insane. Would have never believed that possible, and it definitely allows you to stop worrying about other trinkets that you may think are are Abyss or close to Abyss, you can replace your Scarab of the Infinite Cycle, your Eye of the Dead, your Zandalarian Hero Charm. You can replace basically all the trinkets you were using before, the Ashwagandha Relic. This is the perfect second trinket for pretty much any fight, unequivocally, no question. Two of the other items I'm really into are the Bright Brew Charm and the Bale Brew Charm. So these are crazy awesome because they're similar to, for example, a Battle Chicken. You can summon these ladies before the fight starts and then basically have them running during the fight. So the Bright Brew Charm offers a crazy high healing power. Ladies, she'll basically heal for, according to some sources, 70 healing per 2 seconds for your entire party, which is huge. And this lasts for 35 seconds, so you can activate this before any fight and get a nice bonus to party healing, which is really nice. It'll improve your healing parses for sure. Meanwhile, the Bale Brew Charm is great for starting with threat. You could pop this and theoretically get a nice threat lead with it because she pumps damage. Both of these trinkets are scaled really highly. They do a lot of healing and a lot of damage, and even though they don't last that long, they're still nice because you can swap to a different trinket and still get the benefit of the lady for at least maybe 34 seconds if you start the fight really quickly after swapping. Also worth noting that the Bright Brew and Bale Brew charms offer 45 stamina each and are pretty awesome for solo farming out in the world. Things like if you're a resto druid trying to do quests, it's really nice to have a little bit of extra damage and healing. Frankly, the kind of thing that I really like is summonable pets, having summons in games, and just really right up my alley. So definitely check these out. Next up, we have all sorts of other clones of badge gear. So just like the Essence of Martyr is cloned with the Direbrew hops, we have the Dark Iron Smoking Pipe, a clone of the Icon of the Silver Crescent. So exact same stats. It does not work at the exact same time, but it works afterwards. So basically, you have a 20-second cooldown the second you activate the first trinket, and then you can activate the other one right afterwards. So still going to be a very good option for classes like Arcane Mages. Maybe not all the time. It's going to be situational, but for example, you have other trinkets on CD. You might want to pop this one during Trash, for example. If you played Classic WoW Fury Warrior, you know how important trinket swapping was for every single pack, so this is no exception. Speaking of warriors, there's a 1-to-1 copy of the Bloodlust Brooch, the Empty Mug of Direbrew. Another great option for when you're clearing trash packs, for example. You want to have multiple activatable trinkets to swap to, and it'll save you a ton in badges if you're starting a new warrior, for example, or any sort of physical DPS, and you want to get this trinket. Finally, we have Corrin's Lucky Coin and the Direbrew Shankers. So Corrin's Lucky Coin is a copy of the Nomergon Auto Blocker, so you can save badges on your tank, and the Direbrew Shanker is a really solid epic level dagger. Definitely worth looking into it if you have a fresh rogue and you need to gear that thing up fast. Really crazy high stats, so worth looking into that dagger for sure. Last but not least, there are two mounts you can get. There is a BREWFEST Kodo and a Ram. The Ram is, looks okay, but the Kodo, it looks absolutely stunning. It is armored out, looks better than any of the Kodos in my opinion. Definitely worth picking this up. Looks incredible. Our tank has it already, and he is magnificent. We're talking about Direbrew, but I just wanted to interject real quick to mention that you can go into Karazhan without attunement, and I'm not 100% sure that this came with the recent patch, but you can literally walk in the front door without the Karazhan attunement, and this is awesome for fresh characters. So if you're making a fresh character and you want to get some Kara loot, this is the time. If someone's doing a Kara, get in there, because you can just walk in. All somebody has to do is open that initial door, just sort of like Shattered Halls, for example. Someone can open the door and you can just kind of sneak right in, and that is an awesome way to get gear. Definitely going to be hitting it with my priest soon. If you've got like a fresh character, you want to get to Karazhan ASAP, you can just walk right in the front door. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, definitely hit Karazhan as soon as you can and get some BIS loot so you can start raiding phase 2 or maybe hitting some arena. So we've covered the best way to farm Direbrew, and we've covered all the BIS items. I would like to say, honestly, my pick for the best item would be the remote. The remote is a second Hearthstone, essentially, which is absolutely busted. It's going to be useful in TBC, and when Wrath Classic comes out, you're still going to be using it non-stop. You're going to save hundreds of hours, maybe, over the next couple years if Wrath Classic does end up coming out. Definitely 100% would recommend getting this second Hearthstone, which is the Direbrew remote. Also, for resto druids, for healers in general, Direbrew hops are just amazing. So happy to have already gotten that on my resto druid. My healing power is way higher. I feel way more confident, and I'm just so happy to have a second BIS healing trinket. I don't have to worry about going back to Nax for Eye of the Dead, or getting ZHC, or getting, any number of weird, kind of not ideal healing trinkets. Really, really happy with what I've got. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like the video, and the notification bell. You will miss out on future videos if you don't hit that bell. So don't forget. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great, great day.